Bellator 271 weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to running through this card once again. After the weigh-ins, we've seen the fighters on the scales. We'll have images for some of the premier fighters on the card. Looking forward to it. Smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. Turn on those post notifications too. You do not want to miss a video. Let's start this card off. First fight of the night at the bottom, Muhammad Fauzi Sebie versus Ethan Hughes. Both fighters on weight, 170.8 pounds. Fauzi Sebie looked great. He was my pick earlier in the week. He's still my pick here. You have an Olympic level wrestler in Greco-Roman wrestling. Quick finishes in all his fights, but claims to also have decent stand-up. He's a hell of an athlete. On the opposite side, Ethan Hughes, okay with his striking. A bit of a forward pressure style of striking game. We've seen him taken down against lesser competition. I expect Sebie to run through him. KO TKO, round number 1. I don't think it's all that competitive. The odds for this fight, see if they have them here. Got to go to best fight odds. Odds on best fight odds for this matchup, minus 1100, plus 850 best value. I like Sebie, KO TKO, but they only have inside the distance. That's minus 225. So obviously high expectation that we see a finish early here. It's favorited to be under 1.5 rounds. Fauzi Sebie for the win, but not much value betting him, unfortunately. Get to the next fight of the night. New addition to the card, Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus DeReese. This is a tricky one to pick, but I have to go with the more seasoned MMA fighter, DeReese. Waldo Acosta, a prospect, 6'4" pro boxer. Good hands for MMA without a doubt. Big dude, 6'4". Granted, weight about similar to DeReese. Granted, DeReese had his shoes on, but at the face-off, it didn't look like a huge size difference. DeReese should look to wrestle here. I do think he has to be cautious on the feet. It's more of a dog or pass type of play. I definitely could see a path to victory for Waldo Acosta. DeReese in his last fight beat Carl Seyumanatafa. It's a weird matchup between DeReese, who was a PFL washout, and Waldo Acosta, who we have really no clue about the depth of ability. We haven't seen him against a high-level guy. Got to go with DeReese for that matter, especially at the plus money. But it's a fight, and he could lose it. The odds for this matchup, see if they have it out. Plus 200 for DeReese, minus 222 around best value for Cortes-Acosta. Let's see if there's better props. We do have some. Let's say it goes inside the distance for DeReese. Plus 280 could potentially be the price tag you're looking at. For DeReese wins inside the distance is only prop available. They don't have a cost inside the distance odd. I think that DeReese does get it done by knockout, potentially on the floor, maybe even submission. But on the feet, we could see Acosta sleep him. He has high-level boxing. So if DeReese can't land the takedown, it's a loss here. Dog or pass type play, not a high recommendation bet. But if you're looking for it, I think go with the underdog in this matchup. Keep on moving up the card. Valerie Loureda and Taylor Turner. Earlier in the week, we were on Loureda. You have the face-off between these girls. There's Turner on the scales. There's Loureda. Turner's going to be here to fight. She's not terrible. I mean, her record is outrageously bad at 5-7, but she's not a bad mixed martial artist overall, and she's a big girl for the weight class. I mean, it's at 128 catch weight because short notice matchup here. Taylor Turner, decent grappling game, rangy striker, very tall, 5'10". She's not going to be as technical as Loureda on the feet. Loreda's a talented striker. I mean, she's got the Taekwondo background, very good athlete, and has improved the grappling. The grappling skill set, I think, could be on display here against Turner. Being 5'10", fighting a girl at your same weight, that's 5'4", the physically more strong girl is definitely going to be Loureda. She's bigger, muscle-wise of the two. She's in for a tough fight, but I do think Loureda can win a decision against Taylor Turner. A hard fight against a fighter that's 5-7, and the odds are ugly, 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 ugly for this fight. Minus 389, plus 336 at best value. So Loureda, very strong favorite, but she's in for a difficult bout. Loureda wins the decision, plus 250. Fight goes the distance, plus 145. I feel like Turner can surprise us here and go the full 3, but I do have Loureda win by decision in this matchup between ladies here. And risky bet if you're looking to play it. Next one, Cody Law and Colton Hamm. Earlier in the week, the pick is Cody Law. We'll pull up the face-off if we have it. No, they don't have the Cody Law face-off. That's unfortunate. Sorry for getting you excited. But Cody Law, Colton Hamm, if you look at them on the scales, Law looked in incredible shape. Decent face-off. I don't feel like the weigh-in really matters here, but Law looks ready to go. He's fighting a guy that's just really not at the same level of wrestling, and I feel like Colton Hamm, his strength against a lot of guys is going to be that he can wrestle well because he's an awkward striker. He gets wild. His chin is high. He throws loopy shots. I think Law, the better striker of the two and the better wrestler, I think he gets it done. I'm thinking KO, TKO, first or second round for Cody Law in this matchup. He should put it on Colton Hamm here, and maybe even we get a striking display by Cody Law and he gets himself a knockout on the feet. Looking at the odds, he's huge. Oh my goodness, minus 250, minus 3,000. Insane odds. Colton Hamm, a huge underdog. I like Law inside the distance. It's minus 425. There's no value to bet here. This is just not a fight that you really can touch the line on. It's not worth touching the line, but Law is definitely going to get the win. Let's keep on moving up. Roman Faraldo versus Robert Turnquest. Turnquest misses weight. I do have Faraldo winning the fight most definitely here. He's the pick earlier in the week. He's still the pick, especially seeing the face-off. Turnquest is here for the paycheck. He's fighting a guy that is a real prospect on the rise. Excellent stand-up game. Knockout power in the hands. Super fluid with the striking. Turnquest, gritty vet. Not super impressed by him, especially not impressed by him coming in at 177.8. I mean, that in itself is an awful look. A pretty flat-footed striker. There's going to be a level difference on the feet. Faraldo should knock him out in the first or second round here. I think he runs over Robert Turnquest. Faraldo, a very confident pick this week. But he's a disgusting minus 1,000 favorite, plus 850. Definitely prevents you from making the cash on these fights. Faraldo inside the distance, minus 320. Under 1.5, minus 180. I think that's pretty likely here. I like Faraldo, KO, TKO, the first or second round here. And it should be dominant fashion for him. Nope, not yet. One fight away from the featured prelim. But we have images from the face-off here, which is good. It's Bruna Ellen, Desiree Yanez. There's the ladies facing off. There's each of them on the scale. You can see slightly taller is Bruna. Is Desiree Yanez. I feel like she has some advantages in the clinch department. I picked her to win as an underdog earlier in the week. I'm still riding with Desiree Yanez. I feel like she could put a high-pressure wrestling style game on Bruna Ellen. It will lead her to victory. She's a southpaw. She's tricky. Ellen, I do think, is the better pure striker of the two, a bit scrappier, but size advantage definitely is a factor. The wrestling game is a factor, and being a southpaw is a factor. That awkwardness could definitely throw off Bruna Ellen. Decision, Desiree Yanez in this fight as an underdog, so get yourself some plus money here. Yanez sitting at plus 166, best value. Her opponent minus 177. Bruna Ellen, best value. Fight goes the distance, minus 290. It's definitely going to. Yanez wins a decision, plus 255. I do think she does win by decision here. Desiree Yanez, upset, win by decision over Bruna Ellen, this prelim fight. The next one is the featured prelim. I am excited to see it. I think that this is intriguing. Steve Mowry, Rakim Cleveland. Earlier in the week, I had Rakim Cleveland. I do worry about him in this fight, though, because he's fighting a huge human being, 6'8" Steve Mowry. The reach is only 2 inches, but he's just a bigger person here by a massive amount. Now, there are things I don't like with Mowry. The chin comes up a bit high. I think there's going to be openings for Cleveland, who is a power striker. We can look at them on the scales here. There's Cleveland. Here's Mowry. There's the face-off. So definitely a size difference. But as big as Steve Mowry is at 6'8", he's thin for his size. He's 249 pounds. Same weight for his opponent, Rakim Cleveland. I think Cleveland could land a knockout strike here in the first or second round. He's a solid fighter, and he's a huge underdog here against Mowry, who's relatively unproven. against, okay level competition. I mean, you look at the win recently, 13-3 Sean Asher, who'd been out for years. Sean Teed, 6-2-1. The Gokhan Sarakam win, I mean, we don't know how great Gokhan is against the next level. The biggest win on the resume of Steve Mowry that now is really standing out is the fact that he beat Saeed Salma in 2018. I think that Rakim Cleveland could get the KO. It's a risky fight. It's a dog or pass type play here, and I'm going with the underdog, Rakim Cleveland, to get the knockout. Looking at the odds, plus 559, best value, minus 649 for Steve Mowry. Cleveland wins by KO, TKO, plus 800. That's a real prop, but I think that's the only method of victory I could see. On the opposite side, could I see Mowry winning a decision? Yes, that's plus 550. I'm going to go with Rakim Cleveland, upset KO, and I think he's going to beat Steve Mowry here, who's a top prospect, but I could definitely see it going the opposite direction. Main card. If you guys haven't, smash that like button and subscribe. Turn those post notifications on too. You don't miss a video. It is Arlene, Blencowe, Hamm, Sorenson. I have Blencowe earlier in the week. These are the ladies on the scales. Sorenson's a thick girl. Blencowe, a bit bigger. Both girls in fantastic shape. I feel like Blencowe, better striker of the two, crisper striker, quicker on her feet, strong in the clinch. I feel like Sorenson, more known for her striking game, but does have a solid wrestling base and submission skills. I don't see her getting on top of Arlene, and I also see her struggling in the stand-up game. I got to go with Arlene Blencowe. We have to also note this. The size difference is evident here. Listed at 5'7" is Pam Sorenson, and Blencowe 5'6". There seems to be a little bit of a height difference. Unless she had the shoes on, but worst case, they're about the same height. I think that Blencowe wins a decision over Pam Sorenson. And looking at the betting lines, minus 345, plus 319. I like that minus 345 favorite. Sorenson plus 319. She's a dog that I don't see coming through. Fight goes the distance, minus 240. Blencowe wins by decision, minus 130. Do think she wins a decision here, but not a great bet. Lines are wide, and it's women's MMA. Featured bout of the night, Aaron Pico, Justin Gonzales. This is a fight I'm excited for. I'm picking Aaron Pico. That's the pick later in the week. We'll look at them on the scales. Pico looked in incredible shape. His opponent, Justin Gonzales, doesn't look bad either. Pico a little bit shorter. His face doesn't look a bit sunken in here, but I guess that's just kind of his look. He just recently had cut weight at that point. I know these are the ceremonial weigh-ins. I feel like Aaron Pico is just an all-around dynamic prospect that I cannot pick against, but he's fighting a 12-0 Justin Gonzales that's going to be bringing the fight to him. I feel like the boxing working with the wrestling is going to be the key to victory for Pico. I believe he's going to mix it up well. I think the former LFA champion Justin Gonzales struggles in this matchup, and I think Pico stops him, KO TKO, in round number 3. I think Aaron really solidifies himself as a real featherweight prospect at just 25 years of age. So the sky's the limit. And let's see if he takes that O from Justin Gonzales. I believe the losses for Pico have turned a new corner in his game, and he's definitely improved tenfold since then. Let's see the lines here. Pico, minus 325, plus 284. Gonzales. Let's see. Aaron Pico wins by KO TKO, plus 180. I like that tag. Pico wins in round 3, plus 750. Pico wins in round 2, plus 450. I think it could happen in the second or third round here. A fight that I'm ready to see. I think it ends inside the distance, minus 175 too. But I like Aaron Pico, KO TKO the most at plus 180. Aaron Pico for the W against Justin Gonzales here. Next fight, co-main event of the evening. Tyrell Fortune, Linton Vassell. Had Tyrell earlier on in the week. There's the face-off. You see, real height advantage for Linton Vassell, who's also in very good shape. Lean, muscular, strong. Tends to struggle against the pressure wrestlers. You look back into some of the losses. Moldavsky, more of a mixed martial arts, more well-rounded. He brings in a bit of stand-up game, but Phil Davis, wrestler, was able to knock him out. Ryan Bader, wrestler, was able to TKO him. I think Linton Vassell will struggle against Tyrell Fortune's wrestling. I think Fortune needs to clinch up and wrestle. Don't get caught fighting from the longer ranges because he's going to be at a disadvantage of the reach by 5 inches here, which is a fair margin, 2-inch height disadvantage. I think Fortune wins by a decision assuming he lands the takedowns. If Vassell is able to stop the shots, I could see Linton, Vassell, TKO, and Tyrell in the second. But I feel like Fortune does get it done. I'm going to pick him. I'm going to stick with the slight favorite, Tyrell Fortune, minus 175, plus 164. I like Fortune. Win by decision in this matchup. Plus 275 for that. I like Tyrell. Plus 275 decision. Over 1.5, minus 138. I like Tyrell Fortune here. We're riding with him. And it should be a pretty entertaining fight. If it went the other way, Vassell's a plus 365 if he did get the KO. But I think Fortune TKOs him, potentially late on the floor, or decisions him. And I'm leaning more so decision, Tyrell Fortune, over Linton Vassell. Main event. If you guys haven't, smash that like button and subscribe. Turn those post notifications on too. And let's talk about the main event. Cris Cyborg, Sinead Kavanagh. The pick is Cris Cyborg. And it's obvious why. But Sinead Kavanagh, as we talked about earlier in the week, good striker. Mixes it up with the boxing very well. Has some real amateur boxing experience to her credit. She does have nice flurries. She'll loop her shots, but she'll throw with some serious pop. She's a girl that can hit. On the opposite side, Cyborg is an extremely well-rounded fighter, one of the best females to ever do it, probably top 2. Excellent boxing, spars with Clarissa Shields, or at least she has in the past. Super physically strong, excellent grappler. I expect her to mix in the striking and grappling well and TKOing Sinead Kavanagh here. I could see it at any point. Earlier on in the week, I was leaning third, but I am having a feeling of second round now. I feel like it's getting shorter. I could see it in the first 3. And I see Cyborg winning. I'm liking second round TKO, Cris Cyborg. I think she's going to run over Sinead Kavanagh here. I don't think it will be close at all, and she's a disgustingly wide favorite. Minus 2,500, about best value, plus 2,000 on the opposite side for Sinead Kavanagh, who really has no chance here. But if she were to win, bet that KO TKO prop, plus 330. Maybe some fluke punch lands. But it's going to be Cyborg, KO TKO. That's minus 235. We pick Cyborg round 2. Plus 300. Maybe that's the play. Round 2 and then round 3 is plus 575. Maybe sprinkle both. I think it's less likely of round 1, but with Cris Cyborg, you really never know. It could absolutely happen. Cris Cyborg, for a definite win, I expect her to run over Sinead Kavanagh. Now, I do want to talk some parlays to finish it off. Pure Bellator parlays. Please be very responsible betting these parlays, guys. So Cyborg, because the odds are not really worth it, like just out of curiosity, let's say we parlayed up all of these super widespread favorites, which I think are going to get the W. Let's see what value we can get. So assuming they all came through, minus 297. We also lost that Jordan Newman Shane O'Shea fight, unfortunately. That would be best value. Of course, I think the likelihood of all these people winning is near 99%. So if you wanted to play that, if you're like, listen, I'm throwing a ton at it, God bless, you can go for it. But personally, I wouldn't go nuts with that. If you were looking to add more on top of it and give yourself some more opportunity, maybe you put Pico and Blencowe plus 119 if all these favorites did come through. But I don't like that idea. I really don't. I'd rather just limit it. Maybe you go Pico. Maybe you go Blencowe, minus 157, decent bet. Let's say you added in Tyrell Fortune for plus 155. You're feeling a little bit confident. Maybe you really threw Rakim Cleveland somehow in the mix. Maybe do a 2-fighter parlay like Cleveland Pico or Cleveland Fortune, something along those lines. I think that you have to be cautious with these parlays. And the money to be made on these huge favorites, unless you're throwing substantial chunks of money at it, not really there. So some okay parlays. Be cautious. Play it smart. Don't throw everything at these. It's Bellator, and Bellator has some crazy-ass results. Overall, I think it's a good card. Some okay money to be made. Some decent bets. Tyrell Fortune's in the mix for a bet. Aaron Pico. Or Team Cleveland maybe for TKO as an upset, like a Hail Mary prop type of thing. Maybe you played Mohamed DeReese too, potentially. You play him at the plus 200 tag or inside the distance, Mohamed DeReese, which is sitting at plus 280. So there's some all right bets you could potentially play here, but caution first, most definitely with this Bellator 271 card, and don't go nuts on the parlays. Much love to everybody tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this weigh-in recap show. It was a lot of fun breaking this card down once again. Smash that like button if you're new. Subscribe to the channel and turn those post notifications on. Much love to everybody tuning in, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.